One of the most difficult things for me as a lawyer, as somebody who has been watching this for the longest time, and somebody who is pretty savvy and hip as to how unconscionable and unconstitutional witch hunts can be. This one defies anything and everything I've ever seen. This case of Trump, there is no end to it. Nobody, the dead horse cannot be kicked anymore. When will rational people come to the realization that this is beyond anything that has even approximated logic? And by the way, what Trump has done yet again, fascinatingly to me, is that he's able to draw these people into the fray and expose their own vile, obsessive, deranged, fixated lunacy as directed, contrived, and orchestrated against someone who has done nothing wrong. Let me just say this again. Nothing wrong. Now, how can that be? Look at the intent. Look at his goal. Look at what he thought. Look at the purpose behind what he did. He did nothing wrong. It's not like it's close. It's ridiculous. Well, let me explain. But first, let me ask you to do me a favor and to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're always notified of live streams and new videos, and whatever you do, first and foremost, listen to these incredibly important words from our sponsor. The US dollar has lost 85% of its value since the 70s when the dollar decoupled from gold, and the government seems bent on continuing the tradition. From now until after the next elections, the government can print as much money as they want, and the last time they did that, inflation went up 9%. This means one thing: the security of your future and your family's future is all in your hands. Make sure you freeze the value of your wealth that you are holding. Invest in gold with Noble Gold Investments. Gold is the one asset that has proven to withstand recession, inflation, and just about all economic threats. Noble Gold Investments is here to help you. If you want to invest in gold, you will also get a 24-karat, quarter-ounce gold standard coin for free. So go to noblegoldinvestments.com right now. noblegoldinvestments.com. Tell them Lionel sends you. This is the only gold company I trust. And remember, there's always a risk of investment, and there's no guarantee of any kind. When I tell people this, some of them go berserk. So I'm going to say it again. And listen carefully. Trump is innocent, innocente, not guilty. Do you understand? Not a little bit not guilty, not somewhat not guilty. I mean, not guilty. Because when you look at these cases, there's no there. And when there's something that even remotely appears to be like, well, maybe there's a little something perhaps to this, you realize that the element of the intent, what was his intent? What did he want to do? What was the mens rea, the criminal mind? What was the criminal intention? And it's not there. This is the part that is so important, so critical. This is the part that I can't put into a mere words any longer. This is the part. Name it. Do you think that in the cases of seriously, of his keeping documents that he believes were his, do you think it was his intention to commit espionage, to do anything to cause harm? What is he, like the Rosenberg? Do you think he's like Hansen, the spy? Do you think this man did anything in any way to actually, and this is important, to work this out with me, to actually bring harm or place this country in harm's way in the least regarding anything? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do you? I got to tell you something. And I mean this, and I don't know how to say this in any other way but this. A lot of folks come out here and they're Trump acolytes and they love Trump and they say, oh, he's a great guy or whatever. I'm not doing that. Every single case, especially this latest one, the last Jack Smith doozy, that everybody admits by virtue of the language itself, virtually anybody could be found guilty of the same statute using the same language. It's beyond inexplicable. It is beyond anything we have ever seen. It is beyond, I don't know what the word is. It is beyond insanity. That's all. And I want you to understand something. Every single thing about this guy, every single thing about Trump, everything about Trump that you think you know doesn't apply to him. He lives in a different world. He lives in a different dimension, a different inertial bubble. I don't know what the word is. He lives someplace else. He's not from this land. He's not from this world. What does not destroy him makes him stronger. What does not destroy him, which is everything, makes his enemies weaker. It's Nietzsche plus. And he keeps doing it. And they keep telling him, quit doing it. Quit what? Quit taunting. Quit insulting the prosecutor. What do you do? And now the prosecutor's thinking, what? You're threatening me? I'm going to come after you? You've got to be kidding me. He's going to come after you with what? The Mar-a-Lago, what? The landscaping crew? I'm going to come after you. You don't seem to worry about the Supreme Court justices people came after. Nobody seems to care about the fact that citizens like me in New York had Antifa and BLM domestic terrorists coming after us. It's funny how that works. It's funny how all of a sudden these same people can become so sensitive to the idea about Trump perhaps doing something that might in some way be construed as the encouragement, the initiation, the suggestion of violence. Come on, stop it. Don't make me laugh. What does not destroy Trump makes him stronger. And what does not destroy Trump weakens his enemies. And you're going to see this. Now, the only thing that could get in the way is if Trump just loses his stamina, loses his willingness to fight, loses his grit, his determination, his brio, his bravado. It's the only way. It's the only way that any of this pans out. If he just gives up. You think Trump's going to give up? You think Trump's going to say, you know what? I'm not sure about this. I'm going to throw in the towel. You think so? You think that's even remotely possible? Be honest. You think there's any chance in the world for Trump to say, I can't do this anymore. I've lost my fight. No. And what's interesting also is, and this is the most important, his fan base, translation, the Republican Party, keeps growing and burgeoning exponentially with every ridiculous charge leveled against him. Do you hear what I'm saying? And it's going to get really important because Bobby Kennedy is tapping into that Democratic stronghold. Bobby Kennedy is going after Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's going to be the nominee, or at least they're going to try it. And Gavin Newsom just agreed to debate with what? DeSantis? What was that about? DeSantis is over with, as we've said since the beginning. So if Bobby Kennedy continues to chip away at the Democratic stronghold, that means that all of that split and undecided diluted vote will inure to the benefit of President Trump, and that means he's the winner. And even if theoretically, God forbid, but even if he theoretically is from jail, which he won't be, but if he is, theoretically, he could still be the president. Ask Eugene Debs that. I hope you realize what's happening right now. You're never going to see anything like this again. You're never going to see anything like this again, because there has never been a president like Trump. And believe it or not, you might say, well, that's not necessarily good. I'm just telling you, in terms of sui generis, one of a kind, this inimitable, this ineffable character, this trait of his, there has never been anybody like him ever. All right, dear friend, have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much for listening. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I beg, beseech, implore, entreat, and ask you, before I remind you to patronize our dear sponsor, but I ask you right now to comment as you see fit.